I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Good evening, this is Dr. Bones live for New Music Saturday. I'm sorry I'm a little bit tardy, but today is another special one because I have, again, returning for their second time as special guest critics to New Music Saturday, Catherine and Nolan from the Mad Andersons. Welcome back, guys.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
So like I said, it's always a good time to have you guys on, and it's always a lot of fun because we always get a bunch of different opinions and different views. So it's always a curiosity to me to see how it's going to pan out, just because there's so much different stuff that we both are either very into or don't know as much. So it's interesting because it gives us more of a, we'll call it a free opinion to talk about it, because you never know which way it's going to go.
Exactly, and for us, this will be the first time that we've heard most of these songs, so it's really interesting just to get kind of a cold read on them and see what we think.
Oh, right on. So just before we start there, this is a plug for you guys, and I've been plugging a lot. For all my listeners, if you haven't heard them yet, guys, please check out their album Light Through Glass. It is available on CD Baby, iTunes, and Amazon, I believe, correct?
That's correct, thank you.
But it is such a great album, and I've been getting more and more people into it, and it's definitely very worthwhile. And I stick by my initial statement saying that I can listen to it all the way through over and over again, because I've taken a lot of short road trips this summer, and it's been on quite frequently, so it's awesome CD.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
So the first song we're getting to tonight, I think you guys said you haven't heard them yet. The band's called The Bedroom Hour, and they just released their debut CD, which was done via Kickstarter project. The album's called Hinterland, and the song we're going to listen to today is Nocturnal. So dig this, and we'll be back in a few. All right, that was the Bedroom Hour with Nocturnal, which is off their newest album, Hinterland. And I did play this before when I interviewed Rob, but it's the first time I played on NMS. And like I was saying, kind of during the song was playing, that these guys have progressed a great deal, and they've gotten a lot better, and it sounds a lot more clear. Like I said, just before, it's the nitty gritty kind of a bit of a rougher sound. It's kind of cool, but every band has to progress, and they've done such a good job. And I'm just liking it that much more. From their EP, which came out last May, to the debut album that came out in July, there's been such a huge change. And their lead singer, Stu, Flame Stewart, but point being is his vocal range has gotten a lot better and kind of show you what he's really made of. And the rest of the band, they kind of give you a lot more feel as to what they're all about. Even though the album has a bit of a darker feel to it as far as the song titles go, because as just the way it kind of panned out. But it's one of those things, it's not as dark as it sounds, but still like a very well flowing song, and just one of those ones that's kind of got that good kind of 3-4 time where it's easy to kind of tap along to if you're like driving in the car, sitting down, listen to it, but it flows very nicely.
Yeah, I would agree, and especially when you were talking about the darkness and of the titles, I didn't actually feel that at all, and I have to say that I can't really understand the lyrics. We're listening to this through a laptop speakers, but it actually, to me, it was very uplifting. I loved the atmosphere of it. There were some really nice breaks in it. I thought the vocals were stellar. I really enjoyed that. I'd like to hear that one again.
Yeah, I thought his vocal was very, very good. Very pleasing quality to his voice.
Yeah, really like the song.
It's funny that you mentioned the fact that you didn't notice the darkness, and that's one of the things that I talked about when I interviewed Rob, who's the guitarist for the Bedroom Hour a few weeks ago. Is he said even though it's kind of got a dark feel to it as far as titles go, it's still kind of upbeat and enjoyable, and that's kind of the thing they're going for. Is kind of like not necessarily crosshairs, but kind of like almost like a somewhat of a dual message.
Yeah, and I think that came across really well.
So I was very pleased with it, and it's like, well, that makes more sense, because that was one of the first things I said. It's like, no, album was really good, but there's a lot of like kind of darker song titles. It's like, well, no, if you listen to it, it may have those dark song titles, but it's more upbeat than people would normally think.
Yeah, absolutely, it was great.
So the next one we're going to get into is a band called Broken Wet Rebels, and they just released their EP. We listened to last weekend called Only I, and this one is a cool tune off their new EP. This one is called Nowhere Train. Dig this one.
For somewhere, but nowhere I'm going. Are you on my side? Where the tables and chairs collide. I was broken to be, but I'm still alive. Well, I'm too perfect, circles entwined. That's what they were. Digging my holes just to bury my own shame. Are you on my side? Where the tables and chairs collide. I was broken to be, but I'm still alive. Well, like the two perfect bodies entwined. That's what they were.
All right, that was Broken Wit Rebels with Nowhere Train. This one I really, really dig because it starts off with that kind of cool blues rock riff that pulls you right into the song right out the hop, and it flows well. I've actually interviewed these guys as well, and really like the music, and I love their style. It's almost like a new age style of rock and blues mix, but that's one of the ones that it may sound like easy to do to mix it both together, but it's not always as easy as one thinks, just because you have to be kind of well diverse in both ends of it to make it sound good.
Absolutely. They've taken some pretty traditional kind of blues rock progressions and thrown some interesting chords in there. A lot of the guitar lines were very nostalgic of late 60s, early 70s, but then they'd throw something else at you that was much more modern and very interesting. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was a cool mixture.
Yeah, those guys, they've been like, it's one of those things, they've kind of mastered it, but Nolan, you're right, and it does remind you of the 60s and 70s, just because even that opening riff, like right off the hop, just you think always. I think of Hendrix.
Yes.
And that's what really kind of popped out. So a very good tune, and like I said, the EP is decent too, which I've already purchased and picked up. So I'm very happy with it.
What's the name of the EP?
The EP, honestly, right now I don't know why, but I'm blanking on the name. Maybe it's just because I'm a little tired, but I can look it up. I can look it up quickly, so I do apologize for that. The one thing we're gonna get to next, actually, the next song we're gonna get to is a brand new one for New Music Saturday, and this is off their self-titled EP called There I Was. It's High School Sweetheart. They're a local London band who, by the way, will be stopping in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for an in-house interview, which I'm looking really forward to, because let me tell you, they're quite the characters. With Nick and Justin Jagger, you guys are going to be really happy and probably laughing quite a bit, because they have a lot to say in a very cool band, which obviously I did see at the beginning of the month, and we're going to get to it right now. The song is called The Morning After, High School Sweetheart. All right, that was High School Sweetheart with The Morning After, which is off their newest EP called There I Was. Now, I've said many times about High School Sweetheart is I love the harmonies between Anne and Jess. And this one's a really good one because Anne shows you really pretty much like how her vocal range goes, how she can just hold that high pitch and just make it sound so good.
Oh, absolutely.
And just go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm just so impressed with them, both the band, the songwriting, everything, the harmonies, and yeah, she can just do a master class in vocals. I'm so impressed with her voice.
So yeah, I like just one of those bands. I sing them live too. Anne is very animated, so like I'll DM you the link or just post on your Twitter the link for There I Was Live, because at the very beginning of the show, Anne shows you like just how animated she is when they started the show, because Jess in that song Jess starts to sing, so before Anne comes in with her part. And she starts kind of dancing around a little bit. It's actually really cool to see.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so she is quite the character. She and Nick is their drummer, were over the other weekend pretty much showing them, saying, no, this is where we're going to set up. This is how we're going to do it. And so they're like, all right, we can work with this. And like, we can put that over there and make the work there. It's like, perfect. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. I'm really looking forward to it because I've talked to them all a few times. I've talked to Nick and Ann a little bit more, but Jess and Jagger I talked to at the show, so it's going to be an interesting show because they have a lot to say and they have a lot of different music interests, which is make it that even so much cooler. Just because, I mean, they're extremely different. They're almost like kind of polar opposites in some ways, but it works so well.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. I'm looking forward to the interview.
So so that's like really looking forward to. So next up, we're going to get to. It's the Dead Sea Navigators. Now, I've played the song before, but this is the kind of the final remastered version of it. So this song is called Price of Admission. Dig this. All right, that was the Dead Sea Navigators with Price of Admission, and that is kind of the final remastered version of the song. And I'm a huge fan of this band, as many people know, all my listeners know that I'm a huge fan of Dead Sea Navigators. And it's so different because I'll admit it, the Dead Sea Navigators kind of got me back into kind of the piano sound in rock and kind of just like that, because I've been off it for a number of years because there wasn't a lot out there or it just didn't really appeal to me. But this kind of got me back into liking that sort of thing. And it's funny because initially, even though there is guitar in this one, there's a guitar in just a few of them. Initially, he was trying to stay away from that because he wanted to be, a rock band, but minus the guitar. No, we can do it all with bass, piano, and drums. And for a while, I was like, this time around, because I just wanted a little bit, so not too much. Like again, you hear a little bit, but it's not too heavily involved in the song. And he pretty much got what he wanted. He wanted just a little bit, but not too heavily influenced. So, and that's what makes this band so cool and so in depth as to how they come about with their sound.
Yeah, I thought they pulled that off really well, and the starts and stops make it very dramatic. I really like that. It has a great hook. I like his voice. I didn't miss guitar at all. I'm a guitar player.
And I'm a piano player, so I loved it. Yeah, what Nolan said also, just some really interesting chord changes and anything that can surprise me. I really like that. There were a couple of chord progressions that just sort of took me by surprise, and I really like that a lot.
And same here, and that's what, like I said, that's what was so unique about them, because I interviewed them. It's probably almost 2 years ago now, which is just amazing to think about. But when I first interviewed them and heard the first few songs he sent me, at first, like, I wasn't sure if I was gonna get that into them, but it's like, man, the more I listened, I was like, no, I really like these songs. Like, I mean, it's really like making me kind of dig the piano again.
Yeah.
And that's what was so nice about it. It kind of give me a new appreciation of an instrument which I already respected, but just wasn't a big fan of. But now I was like, wow, this is, because before I was used to hearing it in different facets, like more of, like, say, like a punk rock or like kind of like a synth pop sort of thing.
Yeah.
And hearing it that way just completely changed my mind, and I was like, wow, no, this can really work and can work well, because just one of those instruments that it can fit. It just all depends on the genre you're playing, but usually when it's kind of, we'll call it kind of heavier rock, usually doesn't fit as well, or just not what you expect it to be.
Yep, exactly. But in this case, it added just so much depth to it. It was really well executed, well done.
So, like I said, I'm just a huge fan and really like the song. And he is also responsible for my sting. His name is Steph. So he made that for me last summer. And when he said, he's like, do you mind, or can I write you a sting? I was like, well, yeah, absolutely, yeah, that'd be amazing. Like, and it's been so good, it's one of those ones. It's so catchy, like it sticks in people's heads,
Yeah. Oh, God. That's interesting.
So it's been really nice, because he's actually been in Vancouver for the past 2 years, so he's been going back and forth. His better half is doing something out in Vancouver, BC. So he's been there for 2 years, and he's going back and forth, so it's kind of easier. But even going from the west to the kind of central Canada, our post releases, so it still takes a while for it to get here. But it's nice that like he's just really involved, and it's nice that he helps out, and I really do appreciate your guys' promotions too. I mean, it all means so much. And I know we're all trying to help each other, but it's a massive thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You as well.
So, on that note, we're going to move into another new song. And this time, we're going to get to, I was talking about him just a little bit earlier. This is Lord Numb. This is off his EP, Electric Gospel. The new Electric Gospel, excuse me. The song is called Insects.
Cool.
that was Lord Numb with Insects. Now, that one had a bit more of a kind of bass, kind of like lower kind of monotone sound to it, but still kind of catchy, and just like the low vocal lyrics. I mean, like, you know, it's just not, he wasn't really like kind of aiming high, like you just kind of keeping the background so you could still hear it, but still kind of know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting to me, just because, you know, it can work in your favor, or sometimes it doesn't. You know, sometimes either the vocals are too low, so even though they want you to hear both, you know, the recording job wasn't done very well, but in this case it was, and it just kind of a cool song. I mean, like, how many people are really singing about insects?
And actually, I got that. I thought it was pretty effective. And I have to admit to everybody, I'm not an expert on this genre. Actually, I'm just learning about it. But I like this. I like the use of dynamics and the textures and all of them. I thought it was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And each one's different. And some of them too, like, it'll catch me off guard at the beginning of the song. Oh, here's like, okay, well, this is really different. But I can dig this. I can listen, and then it gets cooler. It's like, okay, now I see where you're going with this. But at first, it's like, you know, I never thought of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I end up saying this a lot, but I would like to hear that again and kind of give it a second listen, or at least a second or third listen, to really catch it all. Because you just know you're not catching it all the first time through. Oh,
exactly. You know what? And I was doing stuff a bunch of times. Like, it's one of those other things. It's like on the playlist, so I listen to it quite a bit, and I play it quite a bit on my shows. Like, I mean, as much as possible, just because like he's like that different. Every song is different from the last one. It's not the kind of the electronica where it's all the same, or like maybe just the bass changes just a little bit, or that sort of thing. It's different, and then makes it that way. It makes it interesting and doesn't kind of bore you to death, because, you know, everybody wants a little bit of change. I mean, it doesn't have to be drastic, huge, that sort of thing. But there's got to be a little bit of an alteration, because otherwise it's the same thing over and over again, and people will eventually get sick of it.
Right. I don't think that's the case here at all.
No,
Not even close. So the next one we're gonna move into. Trying to think if we're gonna do this one next. Yeah, let's do this one next. This is the Wild Young Hearts. They're out of San Diego, California, and they just released a full-length album probably about 5-6 months ago, maybe, so not too long ago, but it's really good. And I had them on the show for to pretty much the release album. So we went song for song. There's like, I think, like 12 songs on there, but it's a decent album. So this one's called Hurricane Darling. Dig this.
You want me to come back and stay, but I need time to write you these records so I can get paid. I know that it's hard, but sometimes too hard, just can't help but break apart. We are, I can't keep denying and lying. I need you around. Hurricane darling, I want you. I need you around. Hurricane darling, I need you around. Oh, you know, I've been so lonely since you went away. I'm on my own. Things have been hard, the nights all seem strange. I tried to change, but sometimes a boy just can't act his age. You know that I miss you. I can't keep denying and lying. I need you around. Hurricane darling, I want you. I need you around. Hurricane darling, I need you around. Hurricane darling, I want you. I need you around.
That was Hurricane Darling, The Wild Young Hearts. Now, this one, we couldn't hear each other that one on the break, but what old 50s song does this one remind you of?
We were trying to figure that one out.
Okay.
I'm just going to call it an homage to the 50s and 60s.
Okay, I'll make it a little bit easier. How about, does Back to the Future ring a bell?
Oh, right.
Earth Angel?
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking of, like... So, well, no, I just, one of those things when I heard that, I mean, obviously it's not the same song, but very well done, and it kind of like, we'll call it a little ballad.
Oh,
But,
yeah, it was actually a great job on that. They were really true, especially with some of the chord changes on it. It was very true to the 50s and 60s.
yeah. They're a fun bunch of guys, and
Yeah.
I've talked to them twice already. First for their their EP, and then then their full length album, and they're a lot of fun. And the cool thing is their singer slash guitarist Rob is actually Canadian.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, so right out of Alberta, so Midwest. So yeah, it was cool, but they're a fun bunch of guys, and it was one of those things. You know, it's the complete, somewhat stereotype of the California area, like, you know, the whole beach and like like red, right on, that sort of thing. You know, and that's exactly what they are, but that's what makes it so much fun.
Well, you can kind of hear that in the music, though. It was great.
So that really, the whole album is really good. So definitely worth checking out. And the last one we're gonna get to for this part is we have just enough time for this one. This is the new one by Analog Wave. The song is called Dead Cat Bounce. Dig this.
Somehow I fell in and I'm drowning. Need to get some control. I need to get out of here. This place is caving in on me. Read between the lines and make it better. It's getting hard. I need it more than ever, and I gotta leave. So try not to depend on me. It's days like these when it all comes down, and I scream out loud, I believe it. So hard to get out of this darkness. Faces circle my soul. I need to get out of here. This place is caving in on me. Out of phase with reality. Playing games with my sanity. Screaming at me what I need. But what I need is here with me. It's days like these when it all comes down, and I scream out loud, I believe it. It's days like these when it all comes down, and I scream out loud, I believe it. Somehow I fell in and I'm drowning. Need to get some control. I need to get out of here. This place is caving in on down, and I scream out loud, I believe it.
That is the newest one by Analog Wave. The song is called Dead Cat Bounce, and I really like this one, and just because I had their first album and I did interview them. The first album, this is such a change. It's not a massive change, but it's enough there that excuse me, that it sounds so good, and they've kind of gone somewhat slightly more different directions than they normally go. So they've added more of an eclectic mix to the music, and that's what made it so interesting. And just it's got kind of their signature, we'll call it a flow for some of their songs, and those boys you'll never forget. So it's always nice, and it's always different because you never know which way he's going to go because he's got such a good vocal range.
Yeah, agreed. The vocals are just, on this one again, they're just stellar. I love the vocals. I love the combination of genres here. It's all the atmospheric elements that they have in it. I really like this one a lot.
Yeah, there's really amazing depth of the feel of the music. I would love to hear that again through a pair of headphones.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah, well, no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so we're out of time here for the first part of New Music Saturday, so we'll be back in a few minutes for the second part, so stay tuned. We're going to shut down here for about 5-10 minutes, and we'll be right back. Until then, Bones out. We'll be back with myself and Nolan and Catherine from the Mad Andersons. Dig it.